Yeah. So if you use territorial sets and stuff like that instead of a bait set, you get away from that quite a bit. Like I don't snare now anymore. It's not that I wouldn't if I could, but I found that not using a bait station saves me a lot of work and energy hauling bait in, and I can catch just as many coyotes and wolves without that as if I was using a bait station. Breakaways are bad for short. The breakaway didn't work there. I don't even know if there was a breakaway in that. Is that the spring right there?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's a spring in there. So
Looks
at least
like it's on there tight.
yeah, at least it had the spring in there.
Breakaways really are amazing though. They just keep a trail still working. Like you get a moose in this one here that's like a 300-pound breakaway. It literally doesn't even break stride. It's just great because, you know, if nothing else, I can just reset it right away easily. It's just nice. You know, and it takes all the memory. If you don't have a breakaway device and you've ever tried making your own snares, you learn how important it is to crimp it perfectly to the memory of the because they all have a natural curl. When you use a breakaway device, you don't have to worry about that because it allows it to naturally just sit out once. So it's faster setting, better.
Use extreme caution when you've got base stations out. Watch for mounds or dark spots ahead of your approach. Of course, that can indicate either a bear or a cougar, one or the other. Never go in unarmed. Once you have located a kill site, you have only 24 hours to use it before you risk accidental catches.
Mounds or dark spots mean how?
There's something buried. They'll take your bait and they'll bury your bait. Lots of times they'll drag it off, especially a bear. They'll drag it off. If it's just a deer, like you have a deer, a cougar will grab a deer and drag it, no problem, right?
Anytime there's a dark spot in the snow, it's always just going to be double looked at as approaching a bait, because then if something's lying down, often all they'll pick up is if it's the shoulder or the head. So until they stand up, it's often just a dark spot in the distance. So
Are cougars very protective of the kill?
well, they don't leave is the problem. So bears typically will grab whatever's there and just take it away to where they want to have it.
Yeah.
Cats will sit right on it where it is until they're done.
Yeah.
So you'll just have it on them more than they're overly aggressive, and now it's just
Yeah, they could be up in a tree or whatever, right? Who knows where they're at. I know I've tried calling wolves with a predator call. Injured deer, right, fawn, and hairs stand up in the back of my neck and turn around and there's a cat's tail.
yeah.
They're right behind me. Yeah. Plan to use some research on all those different kinds of things. There's some really good stuff out there. Can't get it anymore, but Gorman made this here lure. He called it "Kiss My Ass." That used to be. Oh, I'll tell you, that stuff was deadly for wolves and coyotes. It was just deadly.
Yeah,
But,
there's an entire word out there when it comes to bait.
Yeah.
There's just a very cool stuff and things you can play with.
Yeah. So there you see that Limburg cheese. That would probably be used as a curiosity set more so than a.
The pizza set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you betcha. Yeah. Different kind of bottles out there you can use for squirting your lures out there. Make sure that you get good ones.
That urine is good, not past the year, eh?
Oh yeah, if you don't open the bottle and stuff like that, I've used that stuff that's 5 years old.
If you ask any of the makers of any of that stuff, they'll all tell you it's bad after a year.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works. But
Funny that they would say that.
As long as it's kept cool, it's good for quite a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, but the key is it's like wine, it likes to sit at a certain temperature, so it needs to be in a fridge.
Yeah,
So if it's up in a shelf for a summer, like it's no good anymore.
yeah.
So that's the key, is just keep it cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What do you mean by fat fish?
I've had gland lure that I got there from Forsyth. 7 years I had that gland lure for coyotes, and it worked right from start to finish till I was done that.
You kept that refrigerated.
No, I
No,
didn't.
the gland lure, you don't
No.
need to really.
No, I just kept it in a cool spot.
Yeah.
And I lost it when I lost my leg when I was underneath the quad. Somebody broke into my trailer and took all my gear. Yeah.
Spearfish suckers and put them up in the tails.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
heck yeah.
I used to have a treehouse. I live in Coleman,
Yep.
right along the river there. Well, I think you know where I live.
Yeah.
I used to have a treehouse up in that old poplar tree. It was 40 feet off the ground. Everybody thought it was a treehouse. I had over 150 jars of bait up there.
And your neighbors didn't notice?
No, didn't smell at all. Till one day, damn Halloween, these kids crawled up there and busted all those jars. And guess what? Their dog rolled in it.
Oh, yeah, they love that.
It didn't take me long to find out who it was that broke the jars.
Even, just blood, like just pails of blood looks amazing too.
You and moose blood?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of that when you get a moose.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was telling you. Put it in a quart sealer and then bring it home. 3 rotten eggs, 2 or 3 drops of skunk essence in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop some tampons in there, close the lid. Put it in a cool spot, open it up, and there's your lure. Instead of using a bait station, just use that for a lure station. Yeah.
So similar to a bait station though, with a, like say a lure station, you wanna put your sets and your snares 75 yards away?
With a bait station. With a lure station, you can have them closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big thing, like, when we say bait versus lure, bait typically, well, it can be anything, it's like square rectangle, but bait typically we're referring to food-based, so like big hunk of meat.
Yeah.
Whenever we say lure, we're kind of now referring to anything other than meat, so something other than the belly that we're playing towards.
Okay.
So when you have these like little stink pails or smell buckets or whatever, this isn't raw meat, this is stuff that has gone past the point of really even eating. It's just now taken on a smell that to a canine is just, I just need to know what is this I'm smelling,
I got
right?
Yeah.
And so it's much more selective.
Yeah.
The reason we talk about it, and I think we'll probably talk about it more when we talk about the snare specifically, is when you've got cougars and or bears, bears it's doesn't really do as much, but cougars for sure, if they're sitting on a bait, you can let them sit on a bait and then go, like if the wolves always tend to approach out of this valley or whatever, go a half mile that way and then find a place, a cutoff or a corner they cut through, set your bait there. So, well, it doesn't matter if it's broad, but just set a place in the trees where they're going to wind it and smell it and work it, right? There can be no trail, no nothing, and you know everything else isn't going to care because it's not. This isn't food we're smelling. It's gone past that point as far as material goes.
Yeah, and it's not so visible to the public,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a key thing when you're using a draw lure, right? So using bait soaked into the ground could work well as well. That's just like using a skunk. And every dog that you catch will roll in that skunk before you catch it.
Yep.
Yeah. But it can work. It can draw things, that's for sure. Good bottles and stuff work quite well. All your tools, you want to take good care of it, stuff like that. My partner, I had this partner, his name was Lorne Plant. Everything was in glass jars, and then he just smashed the glass on the ground. Oh, I used to just hate that, you know. There you go. P blocks. You got some old popsicle containers that you want to get rid of, just make P blocks for them. But they'll work.
Sorry, go ahead.
I take lots of times I'll take like a piece of dry pine, about that big around, sharpen it about that long, and then drill a hole in the back side of it and put cotton batten in there. So I'll squirt the urine up into the cotton batten, and it's at an angle like that. So they'll try to go around it to get their nose down at it. They'll work around that piece of wood more, and it's easy for them to lift their leg over this way. So you'll know exactly where they're going to step when they're going to step over that thing to urinate on it. It works quite well, and that's basically what this idea is here. Draw baits versus snare sites. You can catch a lot of coyotes on a bait site. A small area with the lure site works a lot better. Here again, once again, you can see where you could set, and animals can travel through that. They can travel through it quickly. There's not a big attraction for bears and other predators right near. I couldn't believe it, right near my place, in the back of my place. They were doing DNA for wolverine studies, and they were hanging beaver in the spring right along the cross-country ski trails. Like, they were like 10 feet off of the cross-country ski trails. They're just lucky that somebody never got hurt by a bear coming out of the den.
Does the size of the bait pile matter? Is bigger better, or just?
There's, I think if you asked everybody, you got a different answer on that,
Yeah.
to be honest. The key is to just, don't ever let them show up and you're out of bait. Cause they're just like, wow, this place is done, they may not come back to you, so you just make sure if it's a bait and you're still working it, it's gotta have bait. If it runs out, a lot of things don't always come back right away.
So you need letters. I've been trying to get a letter all summer long, or all winter long, to get a letter to pick up roadkill. I still haven't got that letter, but I've been promised it 3 times, still haven't got it yet. So to have a relationship with your fish and wildlife officers and parks, and that's a good deal. The more we can work together, the better it is. I really like it now that Duncan, I've done it, helped him a couple of times. We go to the college in Lethbridge College, where the fish cops do their last month of training and that, and we actually put on a course. And we actually have a new fish and wildlife officer. He took over as the senior officer in the past. He's from Lac La Biche, and he took my trapping course 8 years ago. So we got a good rapport already.
There you go.
Yeah. So that always works out for the betterment.
Did you like this video? If you did, I think you're gonna like this one right over here. So check it out. And I appreciate your subscribing if you haven't done so already. Remember to do that while you're watching this next video. Click like, it all helps us out for this channel. Catch you next time.